How you know my mouth was parched?
Yeah, man. We in here. Claim your inheritance. So listen, bro. It's the Club of New Jerusalem. We back at it. All right, so I'm still waiting on my public apology from Faithful to Satan. Okay, he thinks he's faithful to Jesus, but denying Jesus' physical description in the Bible means that he is ignoring the script and hating Jesus based on the script as the scriptures have said of him. Okay, so that's important information, and it needs to be addressed. So he apologized to me behind the scenes over a year later after getting my channel shut down. Okay, so he wanted to apologize publicly. I believe it was on Steve McRae's channel or some public location, like some clown equivocable to Steve McRae. Okay, so I don't know. I can't remember which channel he wanted to apologize publicly on, but the link's in the description, brother. So if you want to come on here and apologize to me publicly, you got the opportunity. If not, continue to be faithful to Satan. All right, so today, what we talking about? Let me find out what we talking about. We talking about S.T.E.A.M, S.T.E.A.M, okay, science, technology, engineering, agriculture, and math. Okay, most people know it as STEM because they want to leave out the agriculture because they don't want people to care anything about agriculture. Agriculture is a pivotal part of New Jerusalem and the upcoming kingdom that we're trying to manifest on the planet. Okay, so I did a presentation one time where I showed that the farming is located near the center. It pretty much surrounds the temple in the center of the New Jerusalem. So we're gonna need employees to run those machines that deal with the farming, and also logistical people to keep track with the crop count and distribution of the crops and things of that nature. So that's what we'll be doing is recruiting those things.
Yeah.
Hold on just a moment. Yo, what'd you say? Okay, so today we are defining religion and STEAM, and we're going to be talking about the normal building processes of Israelites. So right now we are generally dealing with schools. Shalom, Mama Zaya.
Shalom. What's up, my faithful?
Yeah, faithful to Satan. Yeah, he apologized to me in the back chat, and if he wants to apologize publicly, then that would be fine. So now we're also talking about the normal things that we always talk about. The only international messianic ID on earth. Okay, we got it. And I'm surprised nobody else picked it up. I want to give a big shout out to the Mighty Hebrew for taking the opportunity and the plan that I have presented on my channel and attempt to implement it worldwide. Of course, he does not recognize the wonderful son. Okay, so he says that Israel is the son of the Most High, which is true. So and the Old Testament prophets were dealing with Hamashiach as well. So I don't know how to feel about that particular situation. So we are unified by the law, Unlike most Christians who completely despise the law. Okay, so they're gonna pay for that because they're teaching men to not keep the law. Okay, but we have laws on earth in every country on earth that includes portions of the biblical law. So you got to understand that law is very important. Okay, so the world powers are fighting right now to get everyone under the rule of law. The banks have rejected this notion to be under the rule of law. So the world powers under the guidance of the Most High. Okay, so they're all satanic. All right. So the Most High has guided them to uh, make call the banks bankrupt. Now, how ironic is that? The World Bank and all of its subsidiaries are bankrupt. Ah, ain't that funny? I get a chuckle out of that every time I say that. The banks are bankrupt. Cool. Now, so what they're trying to do is guide the world into a new form of currency because, the fiat currency is losing trust and losing power. So ever since it was created, it has lost 99% of its value due to inflation and all types of other things and quantitative easing and all types of other situations. So I don't know what they're moving towards. I like the Orum bill, okay, AURUM. So that's what I'm going to be moving towards. Okay, so everybody's on this Bitcoin buzz, Bitcoin craze, and that's exactly what it is. It's craze. So many people have gotten rich off of that. You should have got in a long time ago when you had the chance. Okay, so you missed out on the Bitcoin craze. Now I can see it going back up in 2019 to maybe 40,000, but all this year is going to be, it's not going to move. So now they're finding other cryptocurrencies to invest in to create a bubble there purposely. Okay, to create more rich people on earth so that they can live well and things of that nature. So I don't know, I can't give you a prediction on which one it's going to be. That's the next big bubble. All right, so let me start. Anything you want to say, Hamza, before I go into the reading?
Oh, what's my fault? I'm about to make a run right quick.
All right,
just tuned in.
no problem. All right, so we're going to be reading from Cornell Law Review, defining, it's volume 74, issue 3, March 1989, article 4. Defining religion in the First Amendment, a functional approach. It's written by Ben Clements. Okay, let me raise this up for you. I know it's mighty small. No problem. Okay. Recommended citation. Ben Clements, Defining Religion in the First Amendment, a Functional Approach. 74 Cornell L. Revised 532, revision 532, 1989. Available at scholarship.law.cornell.edu /CLR /volume 74 /ISS 3 /4. Okay. This note is brought to you for free and open access by the journals at Scholarship at Cornell Law, a digital repository. It has been accepted for inclusion in Cornell Law Review by an authorized administrator of Scholarship at Cornell Law, a digital repository. For more information, please contact jmp8@cornell.edu. All righty, let's get into the reading. Defining religion in the First Amendment, a functional approach. The essence of religion is belief in a relation to God involving duties superior to those arising from any human condition. Chief Justice Hughes, 1931. That is his opinion of the essence of religion. The essence of religion is a belief in a relation to God involving duties superior to those arising from any human relation. Now is a great time for new religions to pop up. There are people who get religious about jogging. They get religious about sex. Health foods have become the basis of a religion, especially, of course, flying saucers. Anything is fertile ground now. There's a new Messiah born every day. That was written by Tom Wolfe in 1980. The First Amendment provides that Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. Although the Supreme Court has discussed the concept of religion in several cases, it has not provided a specific definition to govern cases arising under the religion clauses. Most courts have approached the question with caution, recognizing that a very rigid judicial definition of religion would implicate the concerns underlying the religion causes. Indeed, one commentator has argued that any judicial definition of religion would violate both the Free Exercise Clause and the Establishment Clause. Nonetheless, the constitutional command that the government neither promote religion nor restrain religious liberty requires an interpretation of the word religion. Exactly. This note attempts to provide a definition of religion that is generally consistent with Supreme Court precedent, as well as the court's discussions of the religion clauses, and that will advance the purposes of the religion clauses in both free exercise cases and establishment clause cases. Part 1 establishes criteria for a constitutional definition of religion in light of the purposes of the religion. Clauses and the Supreme Court's general approach to the religion clauses. Part 2 summarizes the Supreme Court's discussions of the meaning of religion. Part 3 surveys several approaches to the concept of religion and assesses them in light of the criteria outlined in Part 1. Part 4 sets forth a proposed definition of religion. Finally, Part 5 raises several possible objections to this proposal and seeks to defend the proposed definition. So I'm not going to read this entire thing, but I implore you to read this at your own time, okay? Because we all know that religion is rules everyone's world view. So atheism is a religion. Evolution is a religion. The Alien Watch Group is a religion. Christianity is a religion. Islam is a religion. Okay. And, Satanism is a religion. Okay. So I'm going to try to go to Part 4 here and see what they have decided, their proposal of the definition of religion. One moment, please. Stand by. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Do, 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 do. Here it is, part 4, a functional approach to the concept of religion. A. Seeger, a definition based on the role or function that recognized religions have in the life of the adherents. The very concept of religious liberty suggests the inappropriateness of an overly content-based definition. In order to embrace new forms of religion, religion should be defined in a flexible manner that reflects the general purposes of religious liberty rather than the specific practices or beliefs of traditional religions. An approach that focuses on the function of religion in the adherent's life performs this task far better than an approach that focuses on the more tangible physical manifestations of religion. The Supreme Court offered the bare skeleton of such a functional approach in the court case United States versus Seeger. In Seeger, the court held that to qualify for a military service exemption under a statute that required a belief in relation to a supreme being, a claimant must have a belief that is sincere and meaningful and occupies a place in the life of its possessor parallel to that filled by the orthodox belief in God of one who clearly qualifies for the exemption. This definition focuses on the function of belief in God in the life of a traditional religionist. Since the First Amendment protects religious belief rather than belief in relation to a supreme being, the focus should be on the function of religious belief rather than the function of belief in God. Accordingly, applying the functional approach to the religion clauses, religion might be defined as a set of beliefs that occupies a place in the life of its possessor, parallel to that filled by the religious beliefs of an adherent would clearly qualify as a religion within the meaning of the First Amendment. However, without any explanation as to what role religious belief usually plays for the follower of the recognized religion, this definition provides little guidance. The next section will attempt to remedy this by providing content to the function of religion in individuals' lives. Okay, B. The religious function, addressing the fundamental questions of human existence and providing a guide for conducting one's life. Although Seeger did not spell out what role religion plays in the life of a traditional religionist, several opinions of the circuit courts shed light on this issue. The most complete discussions of the specific content of Seeger's functional approach have appeared in 2 opinions by Judge Adams of the Third Circuit. The first of these was a concurring opinion in the case Malnak versus Yogi, a case holding that the teaching of science of creative intelligence, transcendental meditation in the public schools violates the Establishment Clause. Explaining his definition by analogy, the Judge Adams has identified the role of religion in the life of the religionist as providing a comprehensive belief system that addresses fundamental and ultimate questions having to do with deep and imponderable matters. Such fundamental questions include the meaning of life and death, man's role in the universe, and the proper moral code of right and wrong. Okay? The requirement of a comprehensive belief system addressing fundamental questions provides a good first criterion for the concept of religion. Taken alone, however, it fails to capture the generally accepted notion of religion as giving rise to duties of conscience. This notion is captured in the language of the conscientious objector statute, which refers to belief involving duties superior to those arising from any human relation. The fact that religion generally involves a compelling sense of devotion and duty helps explain why the First Amendment singles out the practice of religion for special constitutional protection. As one commentator has noted, this sense of a duty provides a forceful explanation and justification for the free exercise clause, in that it is particularly cruel for the government to require the believer to choose between violating the commands of religious belief and suffering meaningful temporal disabilities. Moreover, the general understanding of the religion clauses as serving to protect the sanctity of conscience reflects this view of religion, supplementing Judge Adams' idea of a comprehensive belief system that addresses fundamental questions with the notion of duties of conscience provides a workable definition of religion for purposes of the First Amendment. Taking these two ideas together, religion can be defined as a comprehensive belief system that addresses the fundamental questions of human existence, such as the meaning of life and death, man's role in the universe, and the nature of good and evil, and that gives rise to duties of conscience. The following section suggests a number of possible objections to this definition and attempts to justify the definition by providing responses to these objections. And we can go into those, but I will not at this time. Take the time to check this out, okay? Let me see how I'm going to do this. Go back to the top. You can see the citation here. So you look up this and read this at your leisure. Cornell Law Review, Volume 74, Issue 3, March 1989, Article 4, Defining Religion in the First Amendment, a Functional Approach. It's by Ben Clements. So you could just type in Defining Religion in the First Amendment, and it should pop up on your Google search or your Bing search, whichever one you choose to look up. But Bing got sued by Google, so I prefer Google. Bing got sued by Google, and Google won because Bing was swagger jacking. Okay. So now I want to go here to some information be important. Okay, one moment, please. Let me find out what I'm looking for before I start the elevator music. Okay. Title 2, chapter. Looking for chapter 2. Okay. Chapter 1. Chapter 2, qualifications for admission of aliens. Okay. chapter 2. Okay. Okay, chapter 2. Let's check this out here. Okay, now we are reading from Public Law 414, which was codified June 27th, 1952. Public Law 414. Chapter 477. Okay, this is an act to revise the laws relating to immigration, naturalization, and nationality, and for other purposes. Be it enacted by the Senate and House of Representatives of the United States of America and Congress assembled, that this act, divided into titles, chapters, and sections according to the following table of contents, may be cited as the Immigration and Nationality Act. Okay. So keep in mind, family, that they are attempted to hide your nationality. So, it's kind of tricky to teach people who don't comprehend the difference between parented nations and bordered nations. So a bordered nation is the nations that have borders around them, around land. And these borders were divided among the number of the children of Israel. Okay. A parented nation is just that, a nation with parents. So you don't actually come from the dirt of any bordered nation as modern and acceptable DNA research would suggest. Okay, so they have you migrating around in isolated sexual patterns where you did not race mix, and then calculate the percentage of the people migrating around the earth in order to come up with a percentage of where they lived the longest in varying locations on the earth within bordered nations. Okay, so but in actuality, you are from a parented nation. Every human on the face of the earth has parents, and they came from a parented nation. So you would have to find out your bloodline if you are interested, and I'm pretty sure most of you are not. But Israelites enjoy uh, the understanding that we are Israelites, and we come from a loving bloodline that screwed up and offended the Heavenly Father in the past, and we would like to be in the number of the blessed Israelites in the future, who is going to create New Jerusalem. All right, or establish New Jerusalem, because it's already been created by the Heavenly Father. All right, so that is the difference between bordered nations and parented nations. Bordered nations have borders around land. Parented nations have parents. And so if you go into annals of time within your bloodline, you will find that they kept those records. Our record was discontinued due to our disobedience, and then it was recorded that there will be a sign placed on our condition in order for people with the Ruach Kadash to be able to read that sign literally. Okay, so that's very important for us to establish, because when you try to tell us we need to take a DNA test, okay, which I don't mind doing, I wouldn't mind doing that, and I don't mind establishing it for the admission into the New Jerusalem. Okay, all right. However, it is not necessary for us because the sign is clearly to be read, just like I can read chapter 2, nationality through naturalization. I can read that because it is a sign. It's a sign that says chapter 2, nationality through naturalization, jurisdiction to naturalize. It's very clear on the paper. I can see it. Okay. Just as the sign of the transatlantic slave trade is very clear to the southern kingdom, Judah. Okay, so there's another sign on the northern kingdom that is very clear and understood to be read by Israelites with the Ruach Kadash. So if you're a Christian, you're sleeping, you're blinded, it's because the Heavenly Father chose to blind you. And, it's not our duty to undo what the Most High has done. The Most High does not need our defense. We need the Most High's defense. Okay. So chapter 2, nationality through naturalization, jurisdiction to naturalize. Let me raise it up a little bit. You guys can follow along. Okay. Now, section 310. A. Exclusive jurisdiction to naturalized persons as citizens of the United States is hereby conferred upon the following specified courts: district courts of the United States now existing, or which may hereafter be established by Congress in any state; district courts of the United States for the territories of Hawaii and Alaska, and for the District of Columbia, and for Puerto Rico; the District Court of the Virgin Islands of the United States, and the District Court of Guam; also all courts of record in any state or territory now existing, or which may hereafter be created. You see what I'm saying? Which may be created. Okay. But New Jerusalem has already been created. We're just establishing it for everyone. Having a seal, a clerk, and jurisdiction in actions at law or equity, or law and equity, in which the amount in controversy is unlimited. You see that? That's what we have, an unlimited controversy. This is called the bottomless pit. The bottomless pit is debt. So these Confederate satanic countries and the United Nations, okay, and the rest of whoever else, the rogue regimes like the Confederation of the Global Corporate Control, okay, which are the banking institutions worldwide who are invading the final 2 or 3 lands who have not submitted to that banking system. Okay, they have amassed an unpayable debt. How? How? That's a very good question you asked there. Conquering is how. This is why the Bible tells us that we are more than conquerors. So, since they have conquered the majority of the earth, right? They owe each person who survived the conquering. They owe every last person that survived the conquering. The people who fought as the conquerors, descendants, are going to die. Okay, so they have no chance and they have no opportunity to repent. They have no way of repairing the breach that they have caused, and the destruction of the earth and killing all these people and stuff like that. They have no way of repairing that. Okay, so reparations are useless. So that's why I called this series so-called reparations, because our family already has a fortune that makes every other GDP on earth look like the dust of the balance. Okay. The jurisdiction of all the courts herein specified to naturalized persons shall extend only to such persons resident within the respective jurisdiction of such courts, except as otherwise specifically provided in this title. B, a person who petitions for naturalization in any state court having naturalization jurisdiction may petition within the state judicial district or state judicial circuit in which he resides. Whether or not he resides within the county in which the petition for naturalization is filed, the courts herein specified upon request of the clerks of such courts shall be furnished from time to time by the Attorney General with such blank forms as may be required in naturalization proceedings. Okay. A person, D, a person may be naturalized as a citizen of the United States in the manner under the conditions prescribed in this title and not otherwise. Okay. So now I want to take a look at something else here. And this will be the last from this. What you got? Okay, I want to say go here. I want to go right here. Okay. Okay, this is an important clause here. General classes of aliens ineligible to receive visas and excluded from admission. Ain't that something? Would you like to know who they are? General classes of aliens. Aliens are strangers. Okay, so when the Bible uses strangers, they're talking about aliens. Okay, this is talking about foreigners. Okay, ineligible to receive visas and excluded from admission. Section 212A. Except as otherwise provided in this act, the following classes of aliens shall be ineligible to receive visas and shall be excluded from admission into the United States. 1. Aliens who are feeble-minded. Okay, so this is the tactic that they try to use, that they attempt to use in eugenics. This is why they often label Black people ignorant of every topic, every subject known to man. They say that we're stupid. We are feeble-minded. Okay, so they take that and attempt to forcefully or subversively, without your knowledge, sterilize you. Okay. All right. So that's just a smear campaign by fools and comedians. Okay. Because all comedians are fools. Okay. All people who think 24 hours a day in the form, their thought pattern is comedic. They're all fools. Okay. Aliens who are insane. Okay. That's number 2. So this is what, you see that type of smear campaign going on against black people as well. Okay, so since they know that you are Israelites, this is why they have a system in place all these years uh, to define you as these ineligible um, aliens. And so, but this also applies to uh, varying religions, including um, evolution and Islam and eugenics and atheism. Okay, but it'll become more clear as I read the rest of the ineligible aliens. 3. Aliens who have had one or more attacks of insanity. Hey, that's a lot of you out there. Aliens afflicted with psychopathic personality, epilepsy, or a mental defect. Okay, so you don't know what psychopathy is, so I'm going to define it for you. Psychopath definition. And make sure my screen is still sharing this. Let me see. I don't think it is. There it is. Okay, it is showing. Psychopath. A psychopath definition. I'm not going to do the comprehensive definition. A psychopath is a person suffering from chronic mental disorder with abnormal or violent social behavior. A person suffering from chronic, okay, as in weed, okay, mental disorder with abnormal or violent social behavior. So chronic is means to do it over and over and over again. That's what chronic means. So a person suffering from chronic mental disorder with abnormal or violent social behavior. Okay, synonyms for a psychopath are a madman, a madwoman, a maniac. This is somebody who experiences mania, a lunatic, psychotic, sociopath, loony, fruitcase, nutcase, nut job, nut, psycho, schizo, head case, sicko, screwball, crazy, kook, or loon. By definition, is every psychopath a danger to himself or others? Okay. An unstable and aggressive person. Okay. So let me attempt to show you something here. Psychiatry is a perversion of the Bible, and it unpacks uh, and attempts to eliminate God from the study of the, the the mind and behaviorisms. Okay, so just as you see here in this verse, okay, James 1:8, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So take the time to read James 1 to unpack that information. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. All right. So now, psychiatry was built on trying to understand the mind, okay, and uh, it excluding God from the equation. So they are mighty silly for attempting to do so. Now, a person suffering from chronic mental disorder with abnormal or violent social behavior. This is a psychopath, an unstable and aggressive person. So effeminate people, okay, are quick to anger. See? But the Bible tells us to be what? Slow to anger. See? 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 Nehemiah 9:17, and refused to obey, neither were mindful of thy wonders that thou didst among them, but hardened their necks, and in their rebellion appointed a captain to return to their bondage. But thou art a God ready to pardon, gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and of great kindness, and forsookest them not. So when you say it's taking God too long to come back, okay, it's because he's waiting on us to fulfill a certain amount of perfection. So you got 144,000 people, so that need to be completely on the level of a Mashiach. All right. And that takes it might be maybe 10 or 20 every generation. You know what I mean? Or maybe 12 every generation. I don't know how many people perfected his ways. The Lord is merciful and gracious, slow to anger, and plenteous in mercy. Okay. The Lord is gracious and full of compassion, slow to anger, and great of mercy, and of great mercy. A wrathful man stirs up strife. We know that. But he that is slow to anger appeases strife. You see? He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty. You see that? So you can be tough. You can be a tough guy. That's the mighty. You're the tough guy that gets it, that cannot control his emotions and goes insane every 2 seconds because somebody says a word that triggers you. But the one that's slow to anger is better than you, tough guy. And he that rules his spirit than he that takes a city. See? So you can go conquer all you want, all over the earth. Go ahead. Go ahead. You're gonna pay for it. There's no if and there's ain't no way around it. Ain't no way around it. Joel 2:13. And rend your heart and not your garments, and turn unto the Lord your God, for he is gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and of great kindness, and repenteth him of the evil. See that? John 4:2. And he prayed unto the Lord and said, I pray thee, O Lord, was not this my saying when I was yet in my country? Therefore I fled before unto Tarshish. You don't even know where Tarshish is. Okay? But that's important. For I knew that thou art a gracious God and merciful, slow to anger, and of great kindness, and repentest thee of the evil. 1 and 3. The Lord is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked. The wicked will not at all be acquitted. The Lord hath his way in the whirlwind and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. See? The Lord is slow to anger. This is why it's taking him so long to address the wicked, because we think that their wickedness is good. So God will appear unjust to us if he addresses the wicked instantly, like he you know what I'm saying, like many of humans want done. Okay. So as you see here in Nahum 1:3, the Lord is slow to anger and great in power, meaning that he can just evaporate these clowns anytime he chooses. However, he does not want to appear unjust to us dummies who think that the wicked is good. He will not at all acquit the wicked. The Lord has his way in the whirlwind and in the storm. Those are hurricanes. And the clouds are the dust of his feet. Okay, you get that? See now, here goes part of what the wicked do. See the possessors of Israel, the current possessors and the former possessors, throughout all of time. You got Babylon, you got Assyria, you got Greek, you got Rome, you got you got the Ottoman Turks, you got the Canaanites, which are the current captivity that we're in now. So all of these possessors slay us with what? They slay us and hold themselves not guilty. Slay us with impunity, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty in their system of judging. So their system of judging is to benefit them and them alone. Okay. And they that sell them say, okay, the people who sell Israelites say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. You see how that works? This is how we know that psychiatry is based, is a perversion of the biblical text. All right. So I'm going to continue reading from general classes of aliens ineligible to receive visas and excluded from admission. We are on number 5. Aliens who are narcotic drug addicts or chronic alcoholics. See, the Bible tells us to drink in moderation and to not get drunk. So I slowed down my drinking a little bit. You know, I used to drink 2/5 of Paul Masson a day until I started turning back to the Most High. Okay, 2/5 of Paul Masson a day. No, 2/5. No, 2.5 gallons. Let me see. I used to drink about a 1/2 gallon of Paul Masson a day before I started turning back to the Most High. And now I drink maybe once a week, and I try not to drink to to get drunk because that's against the law. But sometimes I get sheer white boy wasted. Aliens who are narcotic drug addicts. Okay, so you got to look up the schedules for narcotic, and you'll see what narcotic drug addicts are, or chronic alcoholics. Okay, aliens who are afflicted with tuberculosis in any form, or with leprosy. Okay, or any dangerous contagious disease. So secular leprosy is very different from biblical leprosy. I'm not going to get into it. It's too long of a lesson. Aliens not comprehended within any of the foregoing classes who are certified by the examining surgeon as having a physical defect, disease, or disability, when determined by the consular or immigration officer to be of such a nature that it may affect the ability of the alien to earn a living unless the alien affirmatively establishes that he will not have to earn a living. See? Aliens who are paupers. Okay, pauper is a broke motherfucker. Okay. Aliens who are paupers, professional beggars, okay, or vagrants. Uh-huh. Aliens, a vagrant is somebody who breaks into properties and live there. Aliens who have been convicted of a crime involving moral turpitude. I don't know what that is, other than a purely political offense. Or aliens who admit having committed such a crime, or aliens who admit committing acts which constitute the essential elements of such a crime, except that aliens who have committed only one such crime while under the age of 18 years may be granted a visa and admitted if the crime was committed more than 5 years prior to the date of the application for a visa or other documentation, or more than 5 years prior to date of application for admission to the United States, unless the crime resulted in confinement in a prison or correctional institution, in which case such alien must have been released from such confinement more than 5 years prior to the date of the application for a visa or other documentation and for admission to the United States. 10. Aliens who have been convicted of 2 or more offenses other than purely political offenses, regardless of whether the conviction was in a single trial or whether the offenses arose from a single scheme of misconduct, and regardless of whether the offenses involved moral turpitude for which the aggregate sentences to confinement actually imposed were 5 years or more. 11. Aliens who are polygamists or who practice polygamy or advocate the practice of polygamy. Okay. So now we already know that Satanists adore polygamy. We know that Mormons adore polygamy, but Mormons are not particularly considered aliens, okay, to the bordered nation of the United States. But we do know that Islamics are considered aliens. Their Quran, if practiced properly, practices polygamy. So since the Bible promotes polygamy, then we would be exempt from this clause because we have been here forever, and so we're not immigrants at all. We were forced to be here, okay, by the Assyrians and the Canaanites. Okay. Aliens who are prostitutes or who have engaged in prostitution, or aliens coming to the United States solely, principally, or incidentally to engage in prostitution. Aliens who directly or indirectly procure or attempt to procure, or who have procured or attempted to procure or to import prostitutes or persons for the purpose of prostitution or for any other immoral purpose. Ain't that something? The law addresses immorality. And aliens who are or have been supported by or receive or have received in whole or in part the proceeds of prostitution, or aliens coming to the United States to engage in any other unlawful commercialized vice. Okay? Whether or not related to prostitution. 13. Aliens coming to the United States to engage in any immoral sexual act. Huh? See that? aliens coming to the United States to engage in any immoral sexual act. Now, why doesn't this detail what immoral sexual acts are? In doubt, refer to the Bible. Okay, that's all you need to do. Let's see here. One moment, please. Yep, yep. I know y'all like my elevated music. Section 12 defines immoral sex. All things are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient, and all things are lawful for me, but I will not be brought under the power of any. Where is it at? This ain't the sex commit fornication sinning. No, this is not it. Okay. I gotta look it up again. Sorry, folks. All right, sex law in the Bible. Should be in Leviticus. Sexual immorality. Uh, 18. Let's try that. Okay. And the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, say unto them, I am the Lord your God. After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do. And after the doings of the land of Canaan, whither I bring you, shall ye not do. Neither shall you walk in their ordinances. So you should not live by their law, you should live by God's law. Ye shall do my judgments and keep mine ordinances to walk therein. I am the Lord your God. You shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments, which if a man do, he shall live in them. I am the Lord. None of you shall approach to any of that is near of kin to him to uncover their nakedness. I am the Lord. The nakedness of your father or the nakedness of your mother shall you not uncover. She is your mother. Thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. The naked, you might say that these are common sense, but they're not. Trust me. Many people do these acts all the time. The nakedness of your father's wife shall you not uncover. So you got your stepmother. You're not supposed to have sex with your stepmother. So you think that this is common sense? It happens every day. What are you talking about? It's your father's nakedness. The nakedness of your sister. People have sex with their sister every day. They're probably having sex with their sister right now as I speak. Probably millions of people. The daughter of your father, okay, your stepsister, the daughter of your mother, okay, The daughter of your mother is your half sister. Okay. Whether she be born at home or born abroad, overseas, even their nakedness thou shalt not uncover. The nakedness of your son's daughter, okay? So your granddaughter, you should not have sex with your granddaughter or your daughter's daughter, your granddaughter by your daughter. Even their nakedness thou shalt not uncover, for theirs is thine own nakedness. So it's like having sex with yourself. The nakedness of your father's wife, daughter. The nakedness of your father's wife's daughter, which is another step sister. Begotten of your father, she is your sister. So don't have sex with her. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of your father's sister, your aunt. She is your father's near kinswoman. Don't you get it? That's just despicable. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of your mother's sister, which is another aunt, for she is your mother's near kinsman. It's just perverted. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of your father's brother. See, that's just gay. Your father's brother. Don't have sex with your father's brother, your uncle. Thou shalt not approach to his wife. Don't have sex with your father's brother's wife. Well, she's not even related to you. Your father's brother's wife. Your step aunt. She's your aunt. Don't have sex with her. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of your daughter-in-law, your son's wife. She is your son's wife. Thou shalt not have sex with her. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of your brother's wife. That's your brother's wife. Don't do it. Thou shalt not uncover the nakedness of a woman and her daughter. Don't have sex with a woman and her daughter. See, both you can't have sex with both of them. You shacked up in some woman's house, and their daughter is 20 years old, 24 years old, walking around your new crib where you shacked up with some woman in their house, and her fine ass daughter walking around 24. They don't even have to look good. They could be somebody's fat, but just men are just perverted. Kemites are perverted, and when they see that young woman walking around in their drawers and stuff, they get boners, then they try to insert that boner into slot B any chance they get whenever the mother's not around. Or they might even talk the mother into allowing them to have a threesome or something together. That's how these retarded people do. Neither shalt thou take her son's daughter. Okay. Don't take what? That's the next woman and her daughter. Neither shalt thou take her son's daughter. Right. Her grandson. Don't have sex with her granddaughter. Don't have sex with her granddaughter by the son. Don't have her sex with her granddaughter by her daughter to uncover their nakedness. For they are her near kinsmen. It is wickedness. Just to make it clear. Neither shalt thou take a wife to her sister to vex her, to uncover her nakedness, beside the other in her lifetime. So don't be having sex with your wife's sister. You're just retarded. You just a hornball fucking, that's all you are. You're fucking too horny, dude. Control yourself. Also, thou shalt not approach unto a woman to uncover her nakedness, as long as she is put apart for her uncleanness. Okay? Don't approach a woman to uncover her nakedness. Also, thou shalt not approach unto a woman to have sex with her as long as she is put apart from her uncleanness. Oh, okay. So whenever a woman is on her period, don't have sex with a woman on their period. Don't no more Red Wings. You can't be getting your Red Wings and drinking period blood and stuff like that. That's only Kimite imaginations. That's important to do. Moreover, thou shalt not lie carnally with your neighbor's wife. Okay, your next door neighbor, my man, across the street. Don't be looking at his wife like, oh man, that's a fat ass. I can't wait till he go to work. And then go over there and offer her $40. And then, you know what I'm saying, get her kids some diapers and all that good stuff. You can't do that. It's illegal to defile thyself with her. And thou shalt not let any of your seed pass through the fire to Molech. So you don't offer your children to abortion. This is what Molech is. It's an oven waiting to fucking accept your child. Okay? You can't do this. Abortions is perfectly illegal. I don't give a fuck what the United States government says about abortions and how perfect and wonderful and pleasing it is to their society. Abortions are fucking super illegal and should be eradicated off the face of the earth. Okay? Neither shalt thou profane the name of your God. I am the Lord. Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is an abomination. This is not something that you're supposed to do. If a man lies with another man, he shall be surely put to death. As you see, and just same with women too. Women can't do that neither. I know how sexy it looks to for two women to be kissing each other all in the mouth and on their pussies and stuff like that. I know how sexy it looks, but it's illegal, and they shall surely. I'm talking about they are going to die. I promise you. Neither shalt thou lie with any beast to defile thyself therewith. Neither shall any woman. So you can't be having sex with horses. Okay, ladies? You can't have sex with actual horses from a farm. You can't have sex with your dogs. I know you. I've seen you do this in person. You cannot have sex with your dogs. That's just the most disgusting shit ever. I don't give a fuck how it makes you feel. It's illegal. And you and the dog is going to be put to death. Neither shall any woman stand before a beast to lie down thereto. It is confusion. Defile not yourselves in any of these things, for in all these the nations are defiled, which I cast out before you. See, the nations already do these things on the low, and try to keep it from you because you're too stupid because the information is hidden in a book. And since you don't like books and you scared of books and you think a book is gonna lead you astray, you don't know this information. The land is defiled because of their actions. Therefore, I do visit the iniquity thereof upon it, and the land itself vomits out her inhabitants. So when you see people getting evicted out of these locations, that's the reason. You see, you shall therefore keep my statutes and my judgments, and shall not commit any of these abominations, neither any of your own nation, nor any stranger that sojourns among you. For all these abominations have the men of the land done, which were before you, and the land is defiled. He's trying to heal the land by ridding the land of people who do these actions, that the land spew not you out also when you defile it, as it spewed out the nations that were before you. For whosoever shall commit any of these abominations, even the souls that commit them shall be cut off from among their people. Therefore shall ye keep mine ordinance, that ye commit not any one of these abominable customs which were committed before you, and that ye defile not yourselves therein. I am the Lord your God. So, Kemites, you need to quit that madness. Okay, thank you. Now, it's back to the law, and this is what it says here. Aliens coming to the United States to engage in any immoral sexual act. I just read every one of them for you. So you are without excuse. Aliens seeking to enter the United States for the purpose of performing skilled and unskilled labor. Huh. That's funny. These people are. This is pretty funny, bro. Just look at it says here. General classes of aliens ineligible to receive visas and excluded from admission. And number 14 says any alien seeking to enter the United States for the purpose of performing skilled or unskilled labor. If the Secretary of Labor has determined and certified to the Secretary of State and to the Attorney General that A, sufficient workers in the United States who are able, willing, and qualified are available at the time of application for a visa and for admission to the United States, and place to which the alien is destined to perform such skilled or unskilled labor. Or B, the employment of such aliens will adversely affect the wages and working conditions of the workers in the United States similarly employed. So we see with the Mexicans coming from Mexico, okay, the Mongolian bastards that come over here and take all our dang jobs, and the Arabs who come over here and pull up their stores all over the black community to absorb every black dollar into their cigarettes and tobacco products and beer. You see, this is what they want to do. So it's they can't come over here for that purpose, but they eventually stay here and then do that, and then ruin our ability, affect our ability to work, and then we look lazy. But I say we're not lazy. We on vacation, nigga. We've been working for 400 years for free, so we on vacation. Fuck you. The exclusion of aliens under this paragraph shall apply only to the following classes: those aliens described in the non-preference category of Section 203A4, subsection 2. Those aliens described in Section 101, Section A, 27C, 27D, or 27E, other than the parents, spouses, or children of United States citizens or of aliens lawfully admitted to the United States for permanent residence, unless their services are determined by the Attorney General to be needed urgently in the United States because of the higher education, technical training, specialized experience, or exceptional ability of such immigrants, and to be substantially beneficial prospectively to the national economy, culture, interest, or welfare of the United States. See? So it's whatever, man. 15. Aliens who, in the opinion of the consular officer at the time of the application for a visa, or in the opinion of the Attorney General at the time of application for admission, are likely at any time to become public charges. 16. Aliens who have been excluded from admission and deported, and who again seek admission within 1 year from the date of such deportation, unless prior to their re-embarkation at a place outside the United States, or their attempt to be admitted from foreign contiguous territory, the Attorney General has consented to their reapplying for admission. 17. Aliens who have been arrested or deported, or who have fallen into distress and have been removed pursuant to this or any prior act, or who have been removed as alien enemies, or who have been removed at government expense in lieu of deportation pursuant to Section 24 242B. Unless prior to their embarkation or re-embarkation at a place outside the United States, or their attempt to be admitted from foreign contiguous territory, the Attorney General has consented to their applying or reapplying for admission. 18. Aliens who are stowaways. Now, there was a YouTube buzz a little while ago. Of course, they're quick to cover things up on YouTube. So people were catching UPS planes and trucks smuggling in uh, Arabians during the crisis that was forcing people to migrate to other countries based on the conquering of ISIS. ISIS was conquering their uh, neighboring territories, and refugees had to move to safe havens, and so they were smuggling in aliens um, by UPS trucks and all types of and UPS planes and whatever else. Because why? Because uh, so in order to get uh, Arabians over here, that's the whole purpose. They want to get Arabians over here because they think Arabians are tougher than us, are tougher than Israelites. Of course, they're 17 trillion times tougher than any Christian on the face of the earth. But they're not tougher than Israelites whatsoever. Okay, so all that changed back in the day when Abba Bivens got stomped out by 8 Muslims and killed by Muslims. Okay, so once that happened, we decided that we are going to be prepared for you Muslims at all times. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to ever attempt to do anything like that again in the future. And Abba Bivens could fight, but you pussies jumped him, stomped him out, and killed him. Okay, so that's not my fault. 19. Any alien who seeks to procure or has sought to procure or has procured a visa or other documentation or seeks to enter the United States by fraud or by willfully misrepresenting a material fact. 20. Except as otherwise specifically provided in this act, any immigrant who at the time of application for admission is not in possession of a valid unexpired immigrant visa, reentry permit, border crossing identification card, or other valid entry document required by this act, and a valid unexpired passport or other suitable travel document, or document of identity and nationality. See, this is what we offer for you people. A document of identity and nationality. That is the uh, ID. Okay, the ID, only Messianic International ID on the face of the planet. I'm surprised nobody has duplicated it. I don't know why they wouldn't. If such document is required under the regulations issued by the Attorney General pursuant to Section 211. That's a stiff drink. 21. Except as otherwise specifically provided in this act, any quota immigrant at the time of application for admission whose visa has been issued without compliance with the provisions of Section 203, 22, aliens who are ineligible to citizenship, except aliens seeking to enter as non-immigrants or persons who have departed from or who have remained outside the United States to avoid or evade training or service in the armed forces in time of war or a period declared by the president to be a national emergency, which we are in now, except aliens who were at the time of such departure non-immigrant aliens and who seek to re-enter the United States as non-immigrants. I want to point out here, right? Whenever you see these Chinatowns, right, all over the United States, do you see them at Target taking up all the jobs in Target? Do you see them taking up all the jobs at Walmart? Do you see them taking up all the jobs at Lowe's? Do you see them taking up all the jobs at your mom and pop store around the corner? No, you don't. Do you see them? Do you see these Asians taking up all the jobs on every construction site known to man. No, you don't. Okay. You know what I'm saying? You see them at the nail shops, you see them at the hair salons. So that in fact is absorbing the money from the black community, the nail shops and the hair salons, but they're not infringing on our jobs, which is construction. Black people do construction. That's what we do. So we had to go into basketball. Now we got to be 7,000 times better than every human on the face of the earth in order to jump higher than them in order to get some money. Okay. So you got Asians take up what other jobs they take up? That's about it. So now the Indians come in here and take the doctor jobs and the engineering jobs. You see that? Black people mastered engineering long before any of you clowns even existed. Okay. So I don't get why you think we can't do it today. Because we're all already 100 times smarter than any one of you Steve McCrae's. Okay. Now, 23. Any alien who has been convicted of a violation of any law or regulation relating to the illicit traffic in narcotic drugs, or who has been convicted of a violation of any law or regulation governing or controlling the taxing, manufacture, production, compounding, transportation, sale, exchange, dispensing, giving away for free, importation, exportation, or the possession for the purpose of the manufacture, production, compounding, transportation, sale, exchange, dispensing, giving away for free, importation or exportation of opium, coca leaves, heroin, marijuana, or any salt derivative, or preparation of opium or coca leaves, or isonipicaine, or any addiction forming or addiction sustaining opiate, or any alien who the consular officer or immigration officers know or have reason to believe is or has been an illicit trafficker in any of the aforementioned. 24. Aliens other than those aliens who are native born citizens of countries enumerated in section 101A 27C and aliens described in section 101A 27B who seek admission from foreign contiguous countries, territory, or adjacent islands, having arrived there on a vessel or aircraft of a non-signatory line, or if signatory, a non-complying transportation line under Section 238A, and who have not resided for at least 2 years subsequent to such arrival in such territory or adjacent islands. There's another one. There's one that I want to focus on here. I didn't realize it was this long. Uh, Subsidiary predecessors party. It is not within. I think it's 414. Yeah, here we go. Wait a second. Okay, well, in your spare time, go through this. Understand that you are surrounded by people who are destroying your quality of life. Okay, so they're confederate against you to make that happen purposely. And you need to create more things. You need to create more things, and you need to support more more I would say Israelite businesses and labor. Very important. Okay, so this is mention of non-immigrants. That's it. I just wanted to read section 212. So take the time to read section 212 on your own, because it's a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. And I don't know, my damn mouth is, I'm thirsty. Okay, so this is the Public Law 414. Okay, and Chapter 477, an act to revise the laws relating to immigration, naturalization, and nationality, and for other purposes. Okay, so I want you to focus on Chapter 2, Section 212, that proves that evolutionists are illegal in the United States because they're a religion that is retarded. And also, atheism is an illegal religion if they immigrate here. Okay, and so is Islam. So make it happen. You know, write your congressman or whatever you need to do for your particular system. We're trying to create our own system, and that's what's going to happen. Ain't no way around it. Ain't no way around it. So I want to touch briefly on tithes. Okay. The clowning of says that there's tithes have been done away with. I laugh every time they say that. It's all good though. So now tithes are supposed to be paid. They're supposed to be, of course, by monies. I don't give a fuck what you say. All right. So now it's supposed to be saved amongst yourself. Okay, you're supposed to save it for. You're supposed to take the initiative to save it independently in order to present yearly to the priests during I want to say Pesach, Passover. Okay, but I don't quote me on that. I could be wrong. All right, now just to show you why I don't give a fuck what you say about it not being monies and how retarded you are in that regard, then I'm gonna start with I'm gonna start with one moment, please. Okay, I'm gonna start here where it says Luke 18:12. It says, oh, let me raise it up for you. Luke 18:12. You can see this real clear. I fast twice in the week. I give tithes of all that I possess. I'm going to loosely define tithes for you really quickly. It's a yearly payment of 10% of your increase. Okay, so you make money and you have bills throughout the year. So whatever you have left over after bills is your profit. Okay. Since you don't own a business, you don't look at it that way. All right. You work for some clown down the street. He pays you pennies based on what he's making. He's making 95% of what you're making because you work for him. All right. You pay your bills. Whatever's left over is your profit. Okay. So business owners comprehend what I'm saying because it's just common sense. Whatever you make over your expenses is your profit. 10% of your profit goes to tithe thing. Okay, tithes. So you save this in an account or under your mattress or in your pillowcase or wherever you fucking hide your fucking drug money at. I don't know. And then you present it to the priest every year. I want to say at Passover, but don't quote me on that. All right. Does that make sense? Now, I'm going to show you that it's not only money. Okay. I'm going to show you that it's also other things. It's all that you have, like Luke 18:12 says. I fast twice in the week. I give tithes of all that I possess. So that's everything, dude. Okay. So you won't fool the very elect. You won't fool me because I know my history. All right. Everything. Okay. Let's look at some things that are supposed to be tithed first. Okay, here are some things that should be tithed. And there you shall bring your burnt offerings and your sacrifices and your tithes and heave offerings of your hand and your vows and your free will offering and the firstlings of your herds and your flocks. Okay. Uh-huh. Of the offerings, tithes dedicated is faithfully, over which Conaniah the Levite was ruler. Brother was to the tithes of our ground unto the Levites. Says here. Storehouse. Have the people come to the law. And they receive tithes, Abraham. Okay. First fruits are also tithes. So hopefully you know that already because I don't need to teach repentant Israelites that first fruits are tithes, hopefully. Okay, that's it. First fruits. Without partiality. Must be first partaker of the fruits. Okay. Yeah, so this is a good one that I like to use to show that it is whenever you tithe all that 10% of all that you have. Okay, so that would be 10% of the profit of all that you have, or the excess that all that you have. And this is why you only tithe your firstborn son, because you are undoubtedly going to have other children. Okay. So in Exodus 22:29 says, "Thou shalt not delay to offer the first of your ripe fruits and of your liquors. The firstborn of your sons thou shalt give unto me." See that? Likewise, thou shalt do with your oxen. Okay. And with your sheep. 7 days it shall be with his dam. On the 8th day thou shalt give it to me. And you shall be holy men unto me, neither shall eat ye any flesh that is torn of beasts in the field. You shall cast it to the dogs. So an animal that was killed by another animal shall be cast to the Canaanites, the bitches. All right. So you see here that tithes is not only food. Okay. So when you go on a long journey, which is what we're in now in exile, is a long journey. Let me help you out here. Exile, help you out here, because this is not really a simple topic to gloss over. But I just want to shed a bit of light on this, and you need to take the time to go into a deeper study about tithing. Learning is boring. Okay, so let me see here. Let's just look at it this way. Okay. So we got here. Exile. Okay, exile. Okay. What the heck is going on here? Okay, going to what is that? Exile. Exile. Okay. Okay. Let's go here to exile. Okay, here we go. So exile. It's a gala. Okay. Cover. What the? Okay. Oh, interesting. We're gonna reveal ourselves pretty soon. Okay. Just want to show you that way what exile means, but I think you might get the gist of it. Okay. For the good man is not at home, he is gone a long journey. Fathers are new. Garments and shoes are become old by reason of the very long journey. These bottles of wine which were filled were new, and behold, they be rent. And the shoes, by reason of a very long journey. And the man took of their victuals, taking of the mouth, and Joshua made peace with them and leave. Let's see this third day. Bottles of wine for the elders. Elders by our country spoke to us, saying, take victuals on the journey and go to meet them. Both of them were bought with his money. About food, we cannot tell who put our money in our sacks. And other money have we brought down in our hands to buy food. We cannot tell who put our money in our sacks. And he commanded the steward of the house, saying, fill the men's sacks with food, as such as they may carry, they can carry, and put every man's money in his sack's mouth. Okay. And it came to pass when we came into the end, and we opened the sack. Okay. Exchange your tithes for silver. 14.25. That's out the same time into money. Okay. So let's go up here. Yep. Okay. Deuteronomy 14:22. Thou shalt truly tithe all the increase of your seed that the field bring forth year by year. That's why you pay every year, because it was based on farming. And thou shalt eat before the Lord your God in the place which he shall choose to place his name there. Okay. And when he says he's choose to place his name, that's Israel. Okay. So his name is Israel. In the place which he shall choose to place his name there. So anywhere that we go, the tithe of your corn, of your wine. Okay, wine is not food, and of your oil, oil is not food, and the firstlings of your herds and your flocks, that thou mayest learn to fear the Lord your God always. And if the way be too long before thee, how we are in exile, so that thou art not able to carry it, or if the place be too far from thee, which the Lord your God shall choose to set his name there. So he set this all throughout the earth, every country on earth. When the Lord your God has blessed you to have money finally, which we don't have now, then shalt thou turn it into money. Okay? Turn it into money, bind up the money in thine hand, and shalt go unto the place which the Lord your God shall choose, or has scattered thee, and thou shalt bestow that money for whatsoever your soul lusts after. If you want oxen, if you want sheep, if you want wine, if you want strong drink, or whatsoever your soul shall desire. I'm not going to go into that kind of stuff. And thou shalt eat, therefore, before the Lord your God, and thou shalt rejoice thou in thine household. So whatever we desire should line up with what God desires. Okay? And the Levite that is within your gates shall not forsake him, for he has no part nor inheritance with you. At the end of 3 years thou shalt bring forth all the tithe of thine increase the same year, and shall lay it up within your gates. And the Levite, because he has no part nor inheritance with you, with the rest of Israel, and the stranger, and the fatherless, and the widow, which are within your gates, shall come and shall eat and be satisfied, that the Lord your God bless may bless thee in all the work of your hand, which you do. Okay? So you gotta understand that. Because the Levites had to take 10% of the monies that they collected. It was actual silver and shekels and all kinds of other things that the Levites collected. And so they even had to pay 10% of what they collected to the storehouse, to the temple. And that fortune that was passed down from Abraham to Isaac to Jacob, and then eventually to the Levites from the rest of the brothers, is still intact to this day. Solomon and David collected all types of fortune. All of that is still intact to this day. It is included in our inheritance after we become a nation, which is evidenced by Hosea 1:11, where it says, "Then shall the children of Judah, the southern kingdom, and the children of Israel be gathered together." So this is after the Ezekiel prophecy places the two sticks together as one stick. Ezekiel was told to write Israel on one stick, Judah on another stick, put them together, and they miraculously came together and appoint themselves one head. If you want to appoint, if these people are going to come together, talk, okay, they're going to talk about who should be our leader. And school Israelites call this leader Hamashiach. But this is another human, okay? Just like David and all those things. And they shall come up out of the land. So after we gather together as one stick, we are going to appoint ourselves one leader over us, and that leader will delegate authority to other people. And they shall come up out of the land at that time, for great shall be the day of redemption. That's what Jezreel means. It's a poor translation here. This is not the day of that city, which is also another term for Israel, but it's the day of redemption. Okay, so let me define elections for you so you can see this clearly. Okay, I'm not going to unpack this. I'm going to give you the simple version of election, a formal or organized process of electing or being elected, especially of members of a political body. So this is what we see here is a political body of the children of Judah and the children of Israel gathering themselves together and appointing themselves one head who will then consequently delegate authority to other righteous men in order to rule that country. Okay, this includes a military, this includes an economy, and a judicial process to settle disputes. It includes a law for treason. The Bible is our constitution, so we have many treasonous laws that require the death penalty. We don't do prisons at all. And they shall come up out of the land, for great shall be the day of redemption. So this verse is the very definition of elections. Okay? The act or an instance of electing. Okay, so let me look up elect for you. And focus on the verb version. Okay, elect is a verb. Okay, it is to choose someone to hold public office or some other position by voting. See how simple this is? This is it's not very difficult. This is the very definition that places the elect into positions of authority to rule uh, our nation, which will thrive greatly and become the only superpower and the very last superpower. Okay? All right. So I think I've exhausted the lesson for today, and I'm going to open up open up the floor for discussion. Anybody have anything to say? Hearing none, I bid you shalom.